Buying a home? Don't panic. Just listen to the rest of this podcast. Welcome to my podcast, everybody. My name is John LaForme. I'm a certified home inspector and the owner of Home Inspection Authority. My podcast allows me to share my day-to-day home inspection experiences and knowledge to help home buyers, homeowners, realtors, and other home inspectors set realistic expectations with each other during the home buying process. So let's get right into it. All right, studio audience is now clapping. Guess who's here? Today's guest is Dean Gilford from Kilowatt Air Conditioning, Heating, and Electric.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, man, you are the first HVAC contractor to come on the show here. I've asked many. You know, it's been so long since I've actually seen you in person. Prior to you coming out last week to talk about doing my upgrade, I just like, man, I don't know if he's going to remember me if I call him. Because I seriously, it had to be like 5 or 6 years ago since I seen you at a meeting.
Yeah,
a CREA meeting.
yeah.
So how you been?
I've been good. Well, it's actually an honor if, one of the best home inspectors out there asked me for an estimate. So Thank you.
Well, hey, I refer you to everybody.
Thank you.
In case you didn't know it. Yeah. Your business information's on my website.
Nice.
And
Appreciate it.
People constantly ask me, hey, you an electrician? Yeah, I know a lot of them. Good luck getting them. You know, you get an HVAC guy. Yeah, I know a lot of them. Good luck getting them because they're just so busy.
Yeah.
You guys are in the amount of business you guys must turn away. It's got to be crazy. I mean, how many people on your crew?
We have, with the office and me and my wife, we're at 16 people. We're small.
That's not that small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's significant right there. That's a lot of staff.
Well, it's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a job. We stay busy. We don't do new construction. So when you say everybody's so busy and our downtime is typically in the winter, we stay busy, but it's not like summer for us.
Right.
And a lot of those new construction guys,
right,
they'll do any type of work, whatever they can. So then in the summer, when their client needs them or their customer, they're too busy to help them. So I try to focus on not having that issue. I want to take care of our customers year round.
That's good. So Dean, how long have you been doing this?
I've been a licensed contractor since 1990.
1990.
33 years.
Wow. So always HVAC?
No, I started off, good question. I started off as a electrician in the trades. And in 91, I went to work with my uncle, Ed Brody Heating and Air.
Okay.
And bottom line, he said, look, come and work with me, finish your side jobs, which really wasn't my side job. It kept me busy. And I'll teach you air conditioning and I'll teach you how to run a business the proper way.
Nice.
And I did that for 8 years with him. And then we sold the business to a consolidator in 98. He retired in 99.
Right.
And I quit and went back on my own again and got my own HVAC license. And
nice.
Since 99, 2000.
So you were a tradesman. You were out there working in the trades, but you had the luxury of somebody teaching you how to run a business.
Correct.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge.
I've been blessed.
Yeah, believe it or not, back in 1985, 86-ish, I was a framer. And I worked for a really good guy. The company was called Green Mountain Construction. And he was he kind of took me under his wing, taught me how to read blueprints and all this other stuff. Yeah. I wound up going off on my own and just building additions on people's houses and stuff. For, big custom decks and all this stuff. But dude, I had no idea how to run a business and I failed miserably, but I was really good at building.
Yeah.
My sister had to jump in, try to help me with my accounting. By then it was too late. Everything crashed around 89. So I was coming up to that. So everything started slowing down and that was it. So I couldn't run a business back then. Yeah. But I learned a lot from that. So that's good.
Well, all you out there who don't know, John, if you can imagine a framer's arm, John has guns like a framer's arm.
Swinging those, I used to swing a 28 ounce. Yeah, that was pretty big.
We may have to arm wrestle after this.
You're an arm wrestling fan?
No. I'm just joking. You're in really good shape, my friend.
There's some really good arm wrestling things out there. I watch a lot of videos on that.
Yeah,
This
me
guy
too.
from Canada, Larat. Yeah,
I've seen him.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's like a big heavyweight. The guy's got a tree trunk for a shoulder.
I like the small guys.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So anyway, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this topic today. Yeah. So today I invited you on for a lot of reasons. One, you're an HVAC expert as far as I'm concerned. And the reason why I say that, people, is because when I run into jobs that his company has done, they've always dotted their I's and crossed their T's. I'm like, and I tell the client that. I make it a point at the end when I'm doing my overview. I'm like, by the way, your HVAC was installed by Kilowatt, and those guys are doing a fantastic job, and it looks awesome. So I make sure they know that before I leave. And there's one other company I think you're friends with is Canoga.
Yeah, Bob.
They do great work too.
Yeah,
they do. So it's all good. How long you guys known each other? A long time?
I've known Bob since I got on the board with iHacky about 90 or 2003.
So for more than a month.
Yeah, more than a month. Yeah.
That's
about
good.
20 years. He was a good guy when I went back into business for myself. He helped me out.
Awesome. That's good. So by the way, your website's awesome. Thanks. I really like your website. So today I want to talk to you about, most common questions, or I should say confusion with home buyers and homeowners. Being a home inspector, I'm getting asked these questions every single day, almost like they have a script. It's always the same thing. So I'll just get right into it with some questions for you and just try to answer them the best you can. Yeah. So filters. So I'm just going to make like I'm a homeowner right now. I didn't know I had a filter.
Sure.
Okay. I didn't know it. A lot of my customers don't know they have filters. They may have been living in a condo their whole life or some kind of a living environment where they didn't have to deal with that. So they're just not aware of it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we're here to educate people a little bit. So, okay, now that I know I have an air filter, what's it for? Is it for my breathing? Is it for the indoor air quality? What's it for?
Technically a filter, like the little 1-inch filter in the ceiling, that's really for the equipment.
Right.
Technically it's for the equipment. Yes, it'll collect larger particulates, but it's not for any sort of indoor air quality, pet dander, allergens. It's not designed for that. The ones you find at Home Depot, the 3M product, they have a MERV rating 10 to 16. Basically, imagine putting a piece of cardboard where the air is going through.
Right.
So the more dense that filter is, the more particulates it collects. The problem is most of the duct systems and designs aren't able to accommodate that dense filter. So you're restricting airflow. Number one problem, airflow. So if you think of an air filter to protect the equipment, change it all the time. There's one of your questions I'm sure is going to be, how often should they be changed?
I'm going to get to that.
Yeah.
So to reiterate, that's probably one of the biggest myths out there is, it's for my air. I have allergies, so I need to do this. The filter's for the system. That's exactly what I tell everybody.
Correct.
It's for the system. It's to protect the system. So changing it often is required because, as Dean just mentioned, it's airflow. So if that filter's clogged, it's less air going through. And now tell me, what are the circumstances around that? So let's say I have a really dirty filter. What kind of symptoms is that going to cause my HVAC system to do?
Well, one, because the filter, depending on the filter, if it's not that dense, all those little particulates will pull through the duct and then will go to the coil, the evaporative coil, and then that coil will get dirty. And then again, it's trying to push air through a straw. You can only push so much air.
Right.
So the dirtier it gets, the more clogged up it gets.
Right. And the coil is located typically above the furnace area, or if it's a vertical, if it's horizontal, it's going to be probably on the left or right side. So that's what he means by the coil, evaporated coil. So yeah, everything has to be clean, in other words.
Correct.
So just the other day, just a little side note, I was in a 1930s house, had this huge walk-in crawl space, which I loved. Everybody there was loving that because no one had to crawl. So we were walking around in there going, yeah. And that's where they had the air filter in the basement. I'm like, come on, man, what are you putting the air filter in the basement for? I disagree with that stuff because nowadays you can put them in the house, make them so easy to change. You're just making it harder. Some people just make it harder on the homeowner, and it's out of sight, out of mind. They're not even going to think about it down there. So I just go down there and I happen to pull it out. That thing was completely clogged with drywall dust. The same time I'm there, painters are still upstairs. Everything's got plastic everywhere. They got tape everywhere. So you know they've been recently sanding. And actually some of the guys were sanding when I was there. All that stuff's getting trapped in the system because they were running the system while they were doing the sanding and painting and all the demolition work in there. And that, I guarantee you, that coil is going to have to be cleaned before that person moves in.
Most likely.
Absolutely, because that filter can only catch so much, and then it's going to work its way around it, and it's going to go right around it, right onto that coil.
Yep.
So, yeah, anybody out there doing a remodel, don't run your HVAC system when there's any kind of construction, like demolition going on. You don't want to do that because this is going to get trapped inside your system. How often should I change my filter?
Oh, yeah, that gets asked to us often. I would say every 1 to 6 months.
Okay.
And it all depends.
Yep.
In my house, I have dogs. And I have a return. One of them's down low to the ground.
Ah, good point.
Yeah. I also have an air filtration system. So, but mine should be cleaned every couple months. So in the wintertime, we use our heating less than in the summertime. Look, when in doubt, change it.
Right.
You know, again, if you changed it every 3 months, you'd probably be really safe.
Yeah, I think so.
But I have a customer that she needs to change them every month. She has cats.
Yep. And she probably has a low return.
She has low return.
Yep.
You know, the furnace and coil is in the hall closet.
Yeah, I always point that out. Yeah, I always point that out to customers.
Yep.
If hey, by the way, do you have pets? And they're like, yeah, we do. We have 2 cats and 3 dogs. I'm like, okay, well, your return is right here on the floor. You need to change this thing probably once a month or every other month.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be completely clogged with dog hair and cat hair. Like, wow, okay, thanks for telling me that. They just don't know this.
No, they don't.
Homeowners just don't know this. If you have pets and you return, that's that big grill where you put the filter in most cases. Sometimes they're in the ceiling, but if they're on the floor and you got pets, you want to stay on top of changing your filter.
Yeah.
Okay, Dean, so you just mentioned you have an air filtration system. So tell me about that.
Yeah, the one I have in my house and the one that we install for a lot of our customers, it's a deep bank filtration system, but there's 3 components to it. The first component is a pre-filter that's designed to catch the large particulates. The second filtration is a deep bank filter. So if you've ever seen a filter that's approximately 4 inches deep.
Like a media filter.
It's a media filter. Mm-hmm. And then you have an electrostatic filter, which is like the old style electronic filters.
Metal mesh?
Metal, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it like zaps and it'll collect more of the dust. It also is designed to remove particulates down to 0.3 microns. And my understanding, if I remember right, pen is 1 micron. So this is 0.3 microns. I have a big story about it, but my daughter had allergies. Me and my wife were at a dealer meeting, and this guy from Tyler, Texas is selling this product to her. And I told her this is all BS. And she goes, no, I really want it. So, you know, if you know anything about me, I'm a little bit cocky. And I said, well, give me one of these things and I'll put it in my house.
And I'll review it.
Yeah. And he did. So they gave me one, you know, it's very expensive. And I put it in the house, forgot about it. And then one afternoon I'm watching TV and the sun comes up in the east and that's my back windows. And I didn't have any little particulates floating. And when you have this air filtration, we use a feature on the thermostat called fan circulate. So the fan will circulate arbitrarily, depending on how you set it or what the thermostat you have, every 15, 20 minutes. So it's just circulating the air in the house. So once I saw that, I realized, hey, this thing really does work. And then my wife said it To her, it got rid of my daughter's allergies. I don't know if it did or didn't. I know it got rid of the little small particulates, but my daughter was on one of those little puffers when she was a young girl, and we still have the box. She never used
Dean,
it.
don't ever forget. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, you got it, baby.
All right, so now she's happy.
Yeah.
You're breathing better. There's no particulates in the morning. Now, one thing I want to ask you, is this system you're talking about part of your existing HVAC system?
Yes.
So where does it connect?
It goes, so you were talking about the unit in the attic on the left or the right where the filter is. Same thing. This goes in the attic.
It goes in between the furnace box and the plenum in the attic?
Yep.
And the A coil?
You got it.
Okay.
No, it goes between the coil. Excuse me. It
coil.
goes between the furnace and the plenum where the return duct connects to.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's before the coil.
Got it. Okay.
Before
I understand
coil.
now. I get it. Okay. Yeah. That's good. Because I do, now you said it's expensive. What kind of thousands? Like 5,000, 10,000?
So most of the ones, I would say 99% of the ones we install are installed when we do a retrofit, a new system. They run close to $3,000.
That's not too bad.
The nice thing is you never have to purchase a filter again. So it's cleaning, and they're warranted for 10 years.
Oh, so the big filter that I described as a media filter, you don't have to change it.
No, you clean it.
Oh, everything's cleanable.
It can be vacuumed.
Right.
You can use, you can put it in the dishwasher. I don't recommend that, but vacuuming is the best. And if you're familiar, some of these deep bank filters that manufacturers sell, some of these filters are $70, $80. And think about it. If you change it, which 2 times a year, you spend $140, $150.
Got it. So back to what kind of conditions, like what would my HVAC system be doing if it would my regular 1-inch filter was really dirty? I wanted to kind of give people an idea what a symptom might be. Is it just not getting cold enough? Is the system getting really noisy? Anything like that you can offer?
So the noise is a big issue. So you'll hear more air trying to struggle to get through the filter.
Right.
Makes the machine, the furnace, the coil, condenser, everything is working harder. You have the possibility of the coil freezing up. The coil is what works with the compressor outside.
Right.
So if that gets plugged or you don't get enough air across it, it literally will freeze up like a block of ice. Right. So you need a lot of air to pull across that. When you use that air filtration that I was talking about, you need more return. It's more dense.
You got to add more returns.
You add more, you make them bigger, you have multiple depending on the size of the equipment.
Yeah, the biggest problem I see with like a townhome, I'm sure you run into this a lot too. Like it's always hot upstairs, it's always cold down, or it's always cold upstairs, it's always hot. It always depends where the thermostat's located. And on like a 3-level townhome, I just don't think it's possible to get that right unless you had a system on each floor.
Yeah, it's never going to be right.
It's never going to be right. So if you got a townhome and you're experiencing this, I don't think there's going to be a direct fix for the whole thing. It just ain't going to happen. That's just what you're buying.
You can make it better. I mean, there's zoning, there's 2-speed, variable speed equipment.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as a thermostat with little wireless sensors, and they all communicate to each other. So you can you can set each level. If you wanted 70 upstairs and you wanted 75 downstairs, well, I can tell you the downstairs is going to be 65 when the upstairs is 70. So that's the downside to doing that.
You mean with the zoning?
Sensors.
Oh, the sensors.
Yeah. Zoning's a whole different level, but most homeowners don't do zoning in townhomes.
Yeah.
They've already built it, so trying to get into the ductwork is difficult. It can be done, but it's typically cost prohibitive.
Well, I just did an inspection on a brand new townhome the other day, and it had 3 floors. The walk-in floor actually had a living area, which I was surprised. So you walk in the front, and there was a bedroom right here, and then there was a bathroom, hallway, and then stairs going up, and then it was your main floor, kitchen, living area, and a half bath, and then you go up to the 3rd floor, all the rest of the bedrooms. And I always start at the top of the building, work my way down. So I'm checking temperatures upstairs. My heat temp, it was really cold out. It was raining. So I just ran the heat. And then it was about 98. It was a heat pump system. It was about 98 up there. And by the time I got down to the middle floor, it dropped about 4 to 5 degrees. And then by the time I get downstairs, it was only like 72.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to call this out as being a defective system or anything, but I'm letting you know you got a lot of space to cover here, and it may be the length of the duct trying to get that down here because the system was way up in the attic.
Yeah.
It was way up there. So there's just no perfect fix for it. I just don't think there is.
It's always an issue.
Yeah,
It's always an issue.
Okay, so okay, here's another good question too, because I find this a lot. How many filters should a single split system have?
Technically, you should have, one filter unless you have multiple returns.
Right.
So if you had 2 returns, one in the hallway and one in the master bedroom or primary,
right,
then you would have 2 filters. But depending, again, on the size of the home, the size of the equipment, but typically 1 filter per system, unless it's a larger system. You could have 2, 3. You could have, 1 in every room.
Yeah.
Most people don't.
Right. Yeah, some homes have that.
Yeah, I don't.
Some people overdo it and put a zone in every bedroom.
Yeah, doesn't work right.
That's a nightmare for us inspectors.
Yeah, but it doesn't work right.
Yeah. So, okay, great. A lot of times I find multiple filters, like within a very short span. One's here, 2 feet away is another media filter, and then right here is the reusable filter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
One system, one return. So, yeah.
Like you said, it's in the attic and the homeowner doesn't know. So they changed the one in the hallway.
Have no idea there's one up there that's 3 inches thick with debris.
Yep.
And I wonder why the shit don't work.
Yep.
Okay, so HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. Can you explain the ventilation part?
Well, the ventilation we can go deep into, but for instance, the ventilation on a central system could be just the fan itself. Those systems are designed to have a fan where if you turn the thermostat fan on, the fan will just circulate.
Yep.
It'll run until you shut it off. If you have a higher end thermostat, you can program fan circulation where it'll, depending on the thermostat, it could run 20 minutes out of the hour arbitrarily.
Right. And running the fan does not mean you're running your air conditioner or your heater. You're just running the fan.
Correct.
Basically the blower.
And it can work with that. So you could program your heating and cooling and then have it on a fan circulate. You could have it on fan on. So the fan will continually run even after you maintain the temperature in the house or the heating or the cooling.
Yeah. A lot of times I walk into a home to do an inspection and I notice, hey, there's something blowing around. Okay. So if somebody turned something on before I got here, but I always walk right up to it and look at it. Yep. All they did was they turned the fan on.
Yeah.
And it's usually the realtor that first showed up that's doing this. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, did you turn this on? Yeah, I wanted to turn the heat on. Okay, well, all you did was turn the fan on. Oh, okay. So I go to turn the heat on. Nothing works.
Yeah. So. I find a lot of times, because I'll do some home inspections. I have a couple guys like you that'll refer me, and or realtors, and we'll go into the house, and especially in the summer, we'll walk in and I go, it's oddly cold in here. Well, I know they came in the morning, they turned that thing on because there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's something wrong.
Yeah. So let's talk a little more about thermostats, because a lot of homeowners don't understand how to operate their thermostats. And it's really not complicated. I think what makes it complicated is the new brands that are coming out. Some of the brands that are coming out, like I cannot stand Ecobees. I just think there's too many moving parts there. You got to do too much to get to the desired location. Nest to me is the best one. It's so simple to use, but I'm kind of old school. I like the manual. I like the ones with the manual levers, stuff, the more basic, simple ones with the digital display. Those to me, they're flawless. But the new technical ones, they're a little tricky. And so as far as thermostat, here's a common question. If it's really, really hot out in this California weather in the summer, let's say it's 105 outside, and I'm not home all day, should I just leave my system off?
No.
Why not?
Because by the time you get home, the envelope of that house is extremely hot. And trying to cool the ceiling, the walls, it's going to take a long time. You're much better off maintaining a temperature. It can be a higher temperature. Let's call it 85 degrees. And then if you want 75 degrees, it's 10 degrees. Whereas if you come home and it's 90 in the house, it's going to be much more difficult
to cool it off.
Yeah. I keep my house quite cool. My wife has a home office. I have dogs. She's in and out of the house. So we maintain a more comfortable temperature. Everybody's different with temperatures. But no, I don't think it's a good idea to shut it off unless you have a brand new house and, you have insulation in the walls and, you don't have that issue.
And you don't have a 30-year-old system.
Yeah.
And an old dinosaur.
Yeah.
I've been to many people's homes where they have these old furnaces. They're just ancient and they're connected to these old AC systems. And I'm like, I just, it was working fine yesterday when we turned it on. I'm like, well, okay, but when did you turn it on yesterday? Did you wait till this afternoon before I got here to turn it on? I mean, that's why it's so hot in here. And because the system's so old, it's not going to catch up till probably midnight. And now you're using all kinds of energy. Let's talk about the energy consumption with that. So like Dean said, it's not a good idea to turn your system off completely. You want to set it at temp. I set mine at 78 if it's hot. So that way if no one's home, it's not getting crazy hot like into the 80s and 90s. It's just going to get as high as 78. So when I come home, my sweet spot is 74. So I'm only trying to knock it down just a little bit when I get home. So I'm not straining it. It's not going to run all night trying to do that. So it's really good information right here to not do that. And if you get home and you turn your AC down to 60, it's not going to get any cooler any faster. That is another big myth that a lot of people think of. So
even my wife does that, and she knows. I'll come home, she'll put it to 60 degrees. I want it quicker. I said, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
I have a variable speed system in my house.
Right.
So what it'll do is run at lower speeds when you're close to your desired temperature.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll save a lot of energy. So I don't feel as bad if I'm running it at a lower temperature. The big problem I find is summertime, because I get these calls. It worked fine yesterday, and today it's not working. Well, today it's 105 degrees. I know the questions to ask. Oh, you just got home. Yeah, I just got home. It's 5 o'clock. It's at 90 degrees in the house. Mm-hmm. They didn't have it on all day. They turn it on. Well, it can only, the temperature inside, can only be a certain degrees less than the temperature that it is.
Right.
So the air that's going to come out to the air that it is inside, there's a rule of thumb with that.
Right. Like HVAC, there's many layers of, different things it has to have to work right. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, there's just many layers to stuff. So
yes.
Don't, like the airflow is number one. So if you're taking all this hot air and trying to throw it into a cooling mode, it's not going to work right. And you might get icing from that. Can you get icing from that?
Well, you can if you have restriction.
Yeah.
But, it's an absorption system. We're absorbing the heat. And the machine outside, if it's dirty, if it's sitting in the sun, all these things, work together from the filter to the airflow.
Yeah.
We can go on and on.
You need the perfect storm.
Yeah.
Does your dog pee on your air conditioning unit outside all the time?
Issue.
Does it corrode it away? Don't let your pest pee all over your outdoor unit. Not a good idea.
We like it.
Oh yeah, they'll be calling you to come replace it. Dean loves it. By all means, Dean says let the dog lift his leg anytime he wants.
I'll tell you a big issue is the gardener. The gardener, the machines on the side of the house or on the back of the house, and he uses his blower. My guy does it, and he blows the dirt right into that condenser, and you can't see it.
Right.
You can't see it, but you're creating a problem. That's why the maintenance is so
That's
important.
a whole other rabbit hole.
Whole other rabbit hole.
Gardeners.
You got it.
I'm not going to go there right now.